I think we are just about time to begin. Full screen application. Wait. Intro. Full screen application. There we go. Welcome in chat to a very early, and admittedly it'll be a shorter stream today, I hope. My name is Professor Bohdi, aka Mr. Bonny John. Hope you guys have been doing well. I apologize for missing the first few days of this week. Things have been hectic, just personal stuff that I can't really get into. But welcome in Dingus, welcome in Zach. I hope you feel a lot better, Zach. Hopefully you can just kind of hang out. And then the original Dingus comes in. Welcome in, Joe. I'm gonna have to call you Joe now, which is weird. But I digress. Today's going to be a potentially shorter stream because we're only working on one design. If you guys have noticed, this is, well, first of all, I'll say I may not have my face on stream for a little bit. I ended up shaving my entire head down to skin and my beard as well. So I look like Mr. Clean meets Lex Luthor if they look like a thumb. So it's not a good look. But I'm going through kind of a metamorphosis. I think it kind of represents where I'm at in my life at the moment. So if I were to go to the other screen with the camera and stuff, you would see a very different person. Oh, there you go. That's true. I mean, I never loved calling you Dingus, Joe. But yeah, it'll be Joe now. Welcome in Chill. Welcome in Ayani. What's poppin'? So today we are going to work on Primarina, which is, I think maybe one of my least favorite starters. And I know it's bad. It's bad, Dingus, trust. It's good though. I like the reset. I'm using argan oil on my peach fuzz on my bald head. I feel very free. So it's just marking a new era, so to speak. Metaphysically kind of leaving behind everything. Hello, Mata! Only for an hour? Well, perfect timing then, Nui, because I'm trying to stay around for maybe an hour, hour and a half. So, well, here's the thing. So these were all designs that I've done on previous streams, like maybe 2 years ago. So this is a redesign of Chestnut, my redesign of Delphox, my redesign of Greninja. What I'm going to be doing, once again, I have added more work to myself. These will probably be for, you know what, I really, for the love of Christ, want to get into Zotempo. I probably will start Zotempo Monday, I pray, because we're officially coming into May. But yeah, I've done these designs on stream, and I'm very proud of them. I love all of these designs. And they deserve to be finished and polished up. So I've put them on the list of the stuff that I want to complete. And I might, if anything, I might just and here's a quabble. I might just stream only one line, which is probably the first line, because these will be kind of relevant for when Pokemon Legends ZA comes out. You know, like kind of like a what if Bonny John redesigned it, and that's how that is. So I really love these, and my design philosophy, for those who were there, it was probably only, I think Joe was there of everyone here. But I designed these to kind of, one, not all of these starters are quote unquote bad, but my goal was like, I really wanted them to lean into like they felt like they were missing oomph. you know, and I really wanted to tie them into their lines a little better. It was just fun redesign challenges. So I realized with all the other redesigns I was doing on stream, I was like, might as well finish these guys up, you know? That said, today's prompt is Primarina. This one is older than even the other redesigns. This was way back when I was doing a lot of Paradox arts. So, let me catch up with what you guys are seeing here. Good times. Yeah, Zach, that's true. You were there too. I know showers and sleeping's got to be refreshing when you're fully shaved. Yeah, honestly, it's really funny because I still use shampoo. I put argan oil in my hair, and then when I shampoo, like you feel the little lather hitting the peach fuzz. It's pretty funny. Hello, Tengu. Welcome in. Welcome in. And apologies if I missed saying hello to you. Welcome in, you guys. Make sure you leave a like. Delphox, amazing. Thank you. I like Primarina mostly. Yeah, I was always Team Poplio. Look like evil. Yes, that's definitely the vibe. So, whether or not I make this a past Paradox or a, you know, a regular regional variant, the direction for this one is a SIREN, right? So a SIREN in media is kind of at times interchangeable with mermaid. They kind of lure sailors and you know, those on the sea to their death. And Primarina is just this very, you know, elegant, serene looking Pokemon. You've got like the pastel teal, pastel purple, the kind of coral pink starfish in the hair. You know, the most you have is this kind of very beautiful cerulean blue. It's the deepest color. I want my Primarina. Did you shave your eyebrows? No, I need something. I love the paradoxes. Me too. Now, on one hand, and we can talk about that, whether or not I lean into Paradox or I lean into making this a regional variant. The idea that Primarina is a Paradox, it suggests that like the Pokemon in the past, right? Typing matters too, right? If we go like poison seems like a very fitting one, right? Poison could mean pollution, right? What the? Why did I draw 3? Pollution. Now, dark could just straight up be evil. I think this is more fitting for a Paradox. And this one is more fitting for regional. That poison kind of transformed her to be more quote-unquote evil. You know, I find that it'll really come down to the direction of the design. And, you know, like, what can I say? We haven't even put a single line down. So, I think we just kind of jump right into this. We can, like, talk about what we like or didn't like for this design. And so I'll start first and then you guys tell me. So one thing that might have to change is Primarina has these like super large flippers. I suppose maybe I could make it that, you know, they're a little more like digit based and not flat. So I like the come here kind of wither or come hither, excuse me, feeling, right? I like the color palette, like the purple. It's a little more muted. It still very much feels like Primarina, which is nice. It's just a touch muted. The red eyes, while they're a little too on the nose, she's got these very, you know, super pure kind of eyes. So it might be okay to just keep it kind of red. Other than that, I didn't really do much to the hair here. I had a lot of the pearls. I had the pearls in mind kind of like floating loosely around her as if like her hair is no longer well kept, you know? The thing is with this Pokemon's design, this is like one of the most over-designed starters of all time. Okay? Like you've got the spikes here, which kind of juxtapose against the fluttery kind of sequence there. You have these accessories, right? You have this headband, you have this star, you have this piece here, you have these pearl scrunchies. She feels more like a character than a starter. And quite frankly, we give the starters leeway these days because of the nature of needing to be a little more developed. You want your, players to really connect and feel like they're your partner, right? Like they're like one of one. Primarina's rocking the trans color, not gonna lie, that's true. I mean, you don't have to lie, it's right there, right? Protect trans lives. I'm looking at the version that I made, and it's kind of like, over here, this part's a little more spikier. The hair's a little more, in this case, a little more chopped up and unrefined. Muted, yes, that's true. Because I could have done something where I really try to add like reds or this or that, but I'm very content with the color palette. I think it really tells the story, overall, I think since it's been so long since I've actually looked at this design and I want to see my design sensibilities, what I'm going to do is, I think usually I kind of do a little bit of an overdraw. I'm thinking I want to kind of line this first, chat, and just kind of see what changes I might need to do. So, hello everybody! What's up, Riker? Welcome in, welcome in. As I was saying at the top of the stream, I shaved not only my beard, but my entire head down to the skin. And, well, I could wear a cap, and I have wore caps and headbands or, bandanas. I'm just going to kind of reset myself because, I've just been going through something, and, it's like one of those moments in the movie where the character is like looking in the mirror and just buzzes their hair back. So I'm just kind of resetting. I'll probably have my face back on stream soon, but for now I'm just kind of resetting a little bit. So guys, I'm looking at these two types. I think I want to make this a poison dark type. On one hand, we could do like dark fairy, poison fairy, and it may still very well be poison fairy by the end of it. But I like the idea if the polluted waters kind of replaces the water typing with poison, and yeah, like Mata is kind of suggesting, I'll probably lean this maybe into a regional more than a paradox, because I think the fact of the matter is the environment caused it to change. If I made it a past paradox, I could just say it's like a monstrous version of Primarina, which still tracks for a regional, right? But without further delay, exactly, that's another thing. We were talking about this before. I quite like when types can be skewed when we try to be different. So a shy Bohdi, that's true. Somebody was telling me recently, they're like, you are an extrovert, and I'm like, I'm really not. And yeah, I mean, granted, I could still be an extrovert and think like this current haircut, which, let's be honest, isn't a haircut. It is straight up a reset. So definitely shy. Definitely not ready to, my beard, can slowly grow back. That's fine. Pokemon does love their not. I don't think there's that many though, right? I don't know if they love them. What are the examples we have? Because I can't quite remember too many. Was Delmise one of them? I think for sure we go with the kind of spikier kind of teeth. I'm going to have the nose right here. Oh, what the frick? What the? Oh, did I switch to brushbacks? Oh my god, yes I did. Ambivert to some degree. I would say I'm largely an ambivert. I think, in fact, I guess most of us can be. I don't think you're one or the other. Like, there, the extremes exist, right? But I'd reckon that most people would be, yeah, mixture, right? I'm gonna have the eye like this. I think we simply take the okay, let's see. This. She has, and then yeah, really push that expression like you came into my sea, mortal. Do that. Even Primarina's eyes here is just so, like, you can see there's like pink in there. It is very like this doesn't look like a Pokemon to me. It looks like, you know how in like the Pokemon anime you might see Pokemon gets like I don't know, like accessories and stuff. Like this looks like someone outfitted this Pokemon for a contest. You know? Anyway. Electros? Oh, they live under the water, right? Stunfisk, Electros, and Grapploct. Hippowdon, Crocodile, Nihilego, Grapploct. So I would say Crocodile doesn't count. It's meant to be like a ground crocodile. Like, it's not a true water. Like, they could definitely easily, I could low-key see Crocodile come back into Legend ZA. Stunfisk, I think they did a fun thing with that. I love that because they, the Pokemon, the animal they resemble, lives on the ocean floor, so that's like a fun nod to it. Electros is an interesting one that I think is a good one. Hippowdon, yeah, I would count Hippowdon and Crocodile outside of it, because they wanted to flip the formula. And they don't live in the water. They're meant to be the ground type versions, Some recent ones grab Hisuian Quillfish. What is Quillfish? The water dark, right? No, excuse me. Sorry, poison dark, right? Not this one. This crocodile goes whatever onomatopoeia for splashing in the sand. Let's see. Wait, do we have a water crocodile yet? Because we have the fire one. We have a ground one. Crazy. I like the hair to kind of come in here. I think rather than the pearls, I kind of want this kind of crown kind of motif. And I think I can get away with it because, again, if the original Primarina can just have accessories on accessories, then I can certainly give mine some sort of like accessory too. And that feels right to me, doing something like that. I also originally planned on giving her like this long, luscious kind of hair. Part of me thinks I go shorter. Kind of like doing what I just did. Where I was going, you know, I shaved my head to kind of reset. You see this trope all the time too in um you know what, if anything, I could still do the broken, disheveled like pearls that's there. I could have, you know, something like that there. Azula was like that, if you guys recall, in Avatar The Last Airbender. And essentially that's kind of what happened with my hair. Um, I shaved my beard. I was like, oh, I need a reset. I shaved my beard. And then next thing you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring my hair down. I've been kind of cutting my own hair for a little bit, just like kind of resetting. And I ran like a 3 or a 4 guard, and everything was looking kind of good. And I was like, oh, I missed a spot at the top. When I ran it, it buzzed deep to the skin, and I'm like, oh shit, there is no saving that. Oh, for alligator, I'm dumb. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Stunfisk is even weak to water. Interesting. What's up, Sorry, and welcome in, welcome in. I love sirens. Hell yeah, welcome in, Purple. But yeah, this kind of trope feels really good, right? Like, it comes down to, I'm, you know, if Primarina is prim and proper, she's like ravaged by, you know, the environment. You know, she has not, she doesn't take care of her appearance, right? I think we like really kind of lean into, especially if we're trying to do like a regional variant, we keep the parts that exist in the original Primarina, which is, you know, having the kind of frills over there. Exactly. I messed up. We went bald. My dad was cracking up, and like I was already kind of in a how do you say, like a I don't want you guys to worry about me, but like I was in a vulnerable place when I was like, I want to shave, I just want to reset. And so ultimately, when the haircut, you know, landed like that, I just kind of was like, I quickly just went to the bathroom and buzzed it right off. You know, like no hesitation. I forget that you guys get ads. I always forget. I wonder if you guys click the ads, if I get any money because of it. Okay, so Primarina's got these kind of, yeah, these kind of flippers. Do you guys think I should like kind of split the flippers? Or you know what, if anything, maybe we add these kind of like, they're not claws or like, they're just these little bits that come here. Just add a little bit of edge to her. And then maybe I'll do something like this. You know? Okay. I always skip them, I hear that. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's how I kind of make some money on this stream, but I don't even really know how all that stuff kind of works. I really don't, I don't want to get into the finances of it, but like, I don't really use YouTube too much as obviously like a main income source. So you know, I appreciate regardless the kind of support and all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so let's do this stuff over here. What's up, Ollie? Welcome in, welcome in. I like you cut G. Exactly. I'm bald right now. Really, really off. AI ad advertising a robot dog toy thingy. Um, but oh, unskippable ads. Ugh. I've been getting these kind of ads, for not very long videos where it might be like 9-10 minutes. I'll watch like a little bit of it, and then like it'll be like it'll start with an ad, and then like immediately a new ad within like the span of like minutes after watching the first ad to just even get into the video. So what do you guys think so far? I'm wondering if maybe I do add just a little bit extra to the hair, but I do like it creates like a very clear difference, you know? Her hair, has been falling out. Like, she is in these polluted waters. She does not take care of herself in the same way that the previous one may have. The spikes, again, from the previous design, it doesn't feel like it fits there. Especially since it's so close to something really frilly, you know? It does add to the silhouette a little bit, and then it gets frilly again. So I guess we kind of just keep the spikes. Maybe they're just a little more sharper, like that. Chat, I caught the movie, the Super Saiyan 3 cut, hell yeah. I'm gonna use this as a background for damageless side order attempt. What does that mean? Getting these cowboy rodeo ads and they're really annoying me. You know what's funny is like anytime, like if you're watching like sports and stuff, like sports ads are like the worst because like they just spam the shit out of the same ads. So like to come playoff time, like if your team has made it to the playoffs and you're watching them, rooting them, and they're playing ads, it's so frustrating watching those same ads over and over. Do you guys like this little concept here where the edge of the flippers, like the split in the pads, which those look very weird. I don't know why they drew it like that. Like they don't feel even. Like for example, I would have probably taper in them. It's just weird. I'd have probably spaced them out evenly, like that, at most. You know? The hell? I never noticed that. Which one do you guys like? The original or the David Boy bump? It seems right. Because then it really makes the middle digit. Maybe it's meant to be like it's still symmetrical, but I feel like an equilateral distance between would be smarter, but I digress. Okay, let's draw. So we're gonna draw the same kind of flopped up kind of thingies here, and then maybe she doesn't have. Oh, wait. She could still have the heart kind of shape, but maybe it's like thorny at the end, like this. Like she's like, I could do a motif that's like broken hearted, but maybe something thorny could work. Otherwise, I could do like a trident, or like even just like keep it simple and like have it like be like a harpoon. It wouldn't be the paddle that the mermaids need to swim, but like, or you know what? Like, I just keep it like the heart shape like this, but do something like that. Okay. What's the strangest sea creature you know? Asked Dingus. I mean, jellyfishes are up there. I love them so much. The strangest? A lot of those, like, super deep, like, there's just one, like, squid with, like, their appendages look so creepy, thin, and long. Ugh. Oh, side order DLC for Splatoon 3? No Domal. 11 people watching, only 5 likes? Yeah, let's get those thumbs up. Sea cucumber. What's the sea cucumber like? Our middle finger is skinny until now. Don't like it. Hell yeah. My vote would have to go to Salps. They're weird. The way they're born to... Wait, I'm gonna look up. Because I feel like, you know, when we were doing, like, Zotempo research, it was really fun because... Oh, yeah, look at these sea cucumbers. Ugh. Ugh. Ew! Some look cool, some look gross. Some look cute. Ugh. That one looks like poopy. Okay. See, it might be a good thing I don't have my camera on right now because the faces I made looking at all that was not good. Salps. Yeah, I feel like we've talked. Whoa! What the flip? Oh, that's crazy, dude. Salps, dude. I'll listen in the background, question mark? If you want, Rec. Welcome in, welcome in. Portuguese man of war, no contest. This is like that jellyfish, right? Let's look that up. Oh, that looks so cool. It looks like a empanada with like translucent edges. Pretty cool. A weird colony of things. Red-lipped batfish. Siphon. Yes. Whoa, yeah, I think... Hold on. I gotta say, Chill Bill's red-lipped batfish is kind of up there. Biblically accurate. Yeah, siphonophores are... They feel so alien-like. It's almost like our nervous system or our, what do you call it? Spinal cord. We jumped out of our body and decided to live in the ocean. You know? So cool. Okay. What do we think of this so far, chat? I don't know if I love this pose. I think I'm going to... Yeah, probably bring down... I want her to be... Yeah, you know what? What I'll do is... I'm just kind of drawing... I want her to be more beckoning in the pose, kind of like how she had it before. And I drew on the wrong layer. I drew on the wrong layer. Okay, that's okay. We'll just erase. Either she, yeah, come beckoning like. Erase. Why don't we have this kind of go all the way down? This looks kind of commanding too. If it's not beckoning, she's like commanding an army type of thing. Manowars aren't actually jellyfishes, they're siphonophores. What's the difference again? Starfish are creepy too. I've not seen them in a feeding frenzy, but I've seen them like walking where all their like little nubby things, which I think might also be teeth. They're kind of like going off. That's crazy. I did give her the birthing hips for a... Because at the end of the day, she's still got to be sultry. She's still got to be sultry. Right? She's beckoning other Pokemon and stuff to their end. Okay, I'm going to clean that up just to get a little bit of the angle right. So what do we think of this? Like, obviously it's a more, I don't want to say decrepit, but like essentially, yeah, like a more decrepit kind of version. Part of me thinks, should we put like a C-star here as well? Maybe this C-star is a little different. It looks like sharper, like pointier kind of earrings at the end. You know? You know what? I kind of want to give her the second, like with all these split ends and like, again, the pearls kind of spinning around here. My favorite sea animal would have to be the Atoll's jellyfish. When they sense danger nearby, they put on a light show to track any nearby bigger... Wow. Long-nosed armored sea robin? What a cool name. Let me look that up, Arthur. Long-nosed armored sea robin. Yeah, give me some feedback in the meantime, chat, while I look these up. Whoa, Peristidae. Peristidae. Whoa, this is a very interesting creature. What the hell? This is truly one of those things that, like, evolution skipped. Or, like, the kind of things that got left behind. Starfish also have an eye on each arm? Boy, what the? Jellyfish are big colonies of time that make a super. Yeah, that's crazy. You can't just say birthing hips like that? What do you mean? Yes, I can. She got them birthing hips. Is that all? Is that enough? Am I not allowed to say that? Chat, am I not allowed to say that? I mean, I say that respectfully. You know? Like, I need my lady to have birthing hips. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay. Let's do... And then, what do I do with the other arm? Maybe I can just... Yeah, I want to kind of fade the hand back a little bit. Something like this. You gotta do... It's illegal to say! Evolution is RNG. Prove me wrong. It's absolutely not RNG, Cloud. What the... Cloud, I love you, but that is absolutely wrong. Evolution is the opposite. It's illegal... I'm going to jail. What did inspire you to make a dread mermaid? So this was way back when I was into my channel first started for like the OG people with Pokemon Cross D&D. But right after that, I moved right into Paradox Pokemon because Scarlet and Violet were so fresh. It was the new hotness, and I was having a ton of fun with it because that's what like everybody was, you know, doing it, you know. And I was doing a few of the starter ones. Ultimately, the ones I did were the Kanto starters, including Pikachu. That was 4 in a set. It was Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur, and Pikachu. And, I was trying to do like a second set. And the set I was trying to do was water, fire, grass. And so I had a past version of Meowscarada, which was like this kind of quadrupedal, kind of like a lynx. I had Primarina for the water, and then for Blaziken, because Blaziken's so popular, I figured they would have given Blaziken one. I made him this kind of Sentai-like future robot who was like the Red Ranger, and he's like part of a rescue force or a hero force. Ultimately, I used that concept for what was it? Oh, Sylveon. So yeah. You know what? I don't like the spikes here. I think I'm gonna move the spikes. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move the spikes down. Oh, what if I did kind of like the spikes at the end of the tail? Kind of looking like a sea mine. You see, like, I can take these spikes right here. Oh, and she batters people with the tails, and like it creates like an explosion of poison, like again like a sea mine. Because I feel like this part already is spiky enough. I don't need to have like this and this competing with each other. I'm liking this. I really am. What do you guys think? This was the original from like two years ago, maybe 3. I don't know exactly. And then here's this version, which it's very cool to just be able to see the progress and the growth. Like, I'm just gonna lean her forward like this. I want that kind of movement, you know? You know what? I'll still have the hair, I think, flowing upwards. I'm wondering, should I do... Do you guys like whatever this thing is supposed to be? For her, like, crown? Alright, let's hit a little flip. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I mean, it needs some work. Alright. And I'm going to go into the reference. Review. Alright, give me some critiques before I start lining. Again, today will be a shorter stream. I'm only going to work on this, and then we'll call it a day. I will say, tomorrow I am hanging out with Verg. So, I'm not sure for how long I'll be out. We're going to go out for lunch. And then, I'm sure I'll be back by like 5 or 6 latest. So, if anything, it could be a potential later stream. I really pray and hope I can work on Rex for Alligator Commission, which is paid in full, ready to go. Um, but it'll be a fun time. So I'll keep you updated. And then, yeah, like I said, I will probably just line only one set of starters on stream. The rest I can kind of do on my own. And those are even more Pokemon I have to add. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on finishing up first the art, and I'll like one by one post them on like my Instagram, and then if I want to down the line make YouTube shorts of them, I'll probably do that. But at the same time, like maybe I can just finish these art and then even post just a single static, you know, sheets, the finalized versions on my community page for everyone to enjoy. So we shall see. We shall see. Okay, speaking of see, you say it isn't RNG, but you got BS like that one species of moth that got no mouth, and also kiwi. Seriously, their eggs are about. Well, here's the thing. Evolution isn't RNG in that evolution's whole purpose is to make the creature more adaptable. So, adaptable to what? It is hyper specific on the creature, right? It could be their environment. It could be due to the needs of their mating species. It could be due to their prey that they need to capture. It could be due to them needing to hide from their predators. So what seems like RNG to us is, you know, we're just not privy to the lengths and levels of how far these creatures have come. And, you know, sometimes like when, you know, those niches that force them to be this way, once that's kind of escaped, or like overdue or this or that, like sometimes you're left in like kind of a limbo space. So, so that's why I say like evolution is that. And Joe writes, I mean, I guess Cloud's somewhat right. Mutations happen. It's up to natural selection. Exactly. But even then, if you're still alive, that means you're doing something right. You know? And in that case, that would prove that even mutation or not, you still evolved into a way that keeps you alive on the grind, and most importantly, for the sake of all life, to continue producing. So it means those evolutionary, not so much patterns, but like developments, have brought a consistent pattern of staying alive, right? So in that case, you know, it is opposite of RNG. Like usually it's, these traits are developed to give you some sort of edge, some sort of opportunity to keep passing your genes on. And the genes are like, this is what we want to keep. Hello, Dominic. Welcome in from Deutschland. Walks up in a trench coat. You into that fake man stuff? What's something great today? A Coca-Cola themed 99 Ford Mustang. Hell yeah. Maystill slaps. Spiky accessories. Ooh, it's cool. I found out about Indian jet squirrel recently. Oh, yeah. It looks so cute. I've seen that. How is kiwis being so tiny and flightless and laying eggs like half the size of their body an adaptation? So it's not for me to answer. It would be for a scientist to kind of go back and see, all right, if it's flightless, maybe that means that it has a means or safety on the ground, right? Maybe it can burrow, maybe it can live by trees. Maybe by having larger eggs, who knows? I don't know how fragile they are. Let's be honest, they're probably fragile. But maybe larger eggs allow them to blend like stones on the ground, right? Like these are just things that I'm kind of making up, trying to think about what quote unquote advantages there is, right? But something over time helped these creatures stay alive, and they're still alive today. So if what seems like strange and weird, in this case RNG, to us, they're doing something right, you know? Don't get me wrong, if there's human intervention, that's a different story, right? If people are hunting kiwis and doing this, that, and the other. But there's so many things, like for us to just presume it feels random, we're not giving credit to the millions of years of evolution, like going from dinosaurs to birds and, you know, what their ancestors might have looked like or done. It's all very interesting. Anyway, so I think, I mean, you guys seem to really like this Primarina. I am likely going to make this. What should we call the region? Nordis would know. I should literally ask Nordis right now, and he'll give me an amazing answer. He's so freaking smart. I'm going to say, I want to say Poison Fairy. What do you think, chat? It could be Poison Dark. I'm not going to put water. I like the idea that water, just like this Pokemon has been polluted in its nature, it's living not so much in water anymore, but in it's living in this kind of, yeah, polluted water. Like, that's poison, right? Verg might have something to say about the subject. Absolutely. When Verg has an opinion, she states it, and she is really good at debates. I would never challenge her in a debate. I'll see her tomorrow, so I'll like mention how everyone was saying they want to see you make a channel and stuff, and we'll see if that's something that interests her. That would be really cool. Also, this is random, but I'm going to be posting a poem today. It's I don't know, is it a poem or is it a piece of writing? I don't know, chat. But I'm posting it on my Instagram. And then next week, I'm going to start posting a lot of my backlog of Pokemon and Fakemon that I've made in like collaborations and stuff. Including, obviously, like the finish lines for these thingies. And these guys right here. Which, oh, I want to show you guys my vision board. I'm kind of over my quiet manifestation stuff. Like I said, new era for me. I still want to quietly manifest, you know, things, obviously. But all of these will be coming to the Instagram page first before the YouTube stuff. So again, make sure you follow me at Mr. Bonny John. Here's my manifestation board, vision board. You know what? If you're in my Discord, I want you to make a mood board, a vision board, a manifestation board. Let's all chase our dreams. What are we doing out here? We're not here to just exist. We're here to like really live and thrive. You know? I want to see what inspires you. Make a mood board like this and post it in the Discord. Okay? Summer's coming up. We're almost halfway through the year. We're about to live our best lives, chat. All right? I want to see if there's anything else I want to show you. Dava Boy stuff. Dava Boy stuff is also very much in super development. I really want to get the brand going. I've got some exciting news for Dava Boy if things work out. There's some really cool stuff. Guys, tell me. Is it sacrilegious? You know, Dava Boy's icon and everything has always had these kind of like cat horns. And I like it. But like the thing that kind of bugs me is a lot of people see like the Astro Boy kind of shape here, which is understandable. So I'm thinking, you know, the idea of Dava Boy, right? Even down to its name, Dava being God, but also sounding like devil. Do I want to lean more into like his hair horns being more curled up? That's something I've been kind of considering as I'm trying to figure out his new fit. Also, there's this little cactus dog, she's getting a redesign. I'm trying to figure it out. There's going to be new characters, a little alien dude. a little shark man thing. This freaking cute little freaking beetle man. The David Boy world is expanding. I was thinking when The Rock was like, what did he say? He done said something so funny. Oh, like the hierarchy in the DCU is gonna change or something. I like the third shape there with the tie. Let me see. Oh, this one right here? Yeah, the bolo tie. The bolo tie is kind of fire. See, I like this jester kind of vibe. It fits with the hair kind of piece, but it screams very much Kuromi. Which, to be fair, like, I started these designs not necessarily an homage to like Hello Kitty, but like the Japanese kind of mascot approach. Um, so maybe it'll be more of like the devil horns with the bolo tie is fire though. This guy, this version looks like a straight up vampire. He's kind of tough, but he's not a vampire. He's just a sweet kid with like a little penchant for mischievousness. But he's got a good heart. Anyway. Never give up on your dreams, chat. Poison dark type, writes Tengu. I don't see the fairy part, even though if we're talking about malicious fairies. Yes, group chat is nature, evolution, RNG with no context, refuse to elaborate, profit. I didn't know you were a poet. Yes, I'm a poet indeed. We're all poets, to be honest. I don't think that this Primarina's a fairy type. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning into the edgy, like mischievous fairy. But yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe it really is just poison dark. But let's continue. It's 4:01. I'm gonna try to finish this by 4:30, and we can all get to our days. I know, like I said, chat, today it's an early stream because, as I was saying yesterday in the Discord, the collab that I was supposed to record for, which is why I didn't stream yesterday, is still going on. But it got canceled yesterday because one of the collaborators had some connectivity issues. So it got pushed to today. I remember this one day, the last collab I did, which was the recording with Tubbs and Fakemon Forever. Such nice, awesome dudes, by the way. They came out swinging, so did I. We all had so much fun. Ron and I, we were all saying like these are like among the best designs we've made. Thing is, I was exhausted, chat, because I'd done like a 2-3 hour stream and I like nearly forgot I was recording. And next thing you know, I'm like jumping right into the stream and I was just mentally kind of physically and mentally tired because, you know, with streaming, I'm like chatting with you guys. And of course, while I enjoy it, I still have to be like an active participant in that I'm the voice for all of us, right? When I read your comments and I'm interacting. And so in no way am I saying streaming like the hardest job in the world, but like, you know, you have to like be activated to some degree. And then when you're like trying to record and I'm like trying to give the recording and the collab the same space and energy I give you guys, it was really difficult. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna do a light stream today because I didn't get to stream the last few days and I've been kind of itching for it. And here we are. And why I'm recording the mermaid prompt today is I really want to get it going because I've been kind of slacking with even posting. By the way, the March community prompt is up. Make sure you go and comment on the page. Say congrats to your fellow artists who, you know, took the time to create for it. Thank you to everyone who participated for that. Um, but yeah, charge phone. No worries, Zach. You should host another collab. I really want to. I really want to, but like my thing is, I just like where I've kind of fallen out of love with the social media stuff is again like the content production. With streaming, like this is just stream of consciousness creation, right? It's just fun designing. But like I don't enjoy the editing. I really don't. It's a lot. And I'm a perfectionist. It's got to be this, that, the other. If I had an editor, it would be a different story. I could draw the things. I could write out the narration, or yeah, write out my narration, perform, and then give it to the editor. But I don't have any of that. So, do you guys like this kind of sharper earrings that she has? Instead of like the starfish, it's like a star, but like it looks like really sharp, like daggers, you know? I don't know if I want to give her this crown thing, to be honest. I think it's very over designed. Maybe we do just keep the black pearls, you know? And maybe this one just has kind of like a point. I don't know why. Because obviously sharp things equals bad. Let's just do that. I think the other one just feels very over designed. Oh, unless I did. Oh, wait. Maybe what I do is I could do like a clam kind of thing. It's almost like this kind of like visor. You know? I kind of like that. What do you guys think, chat, about Pokemon not giving the middle stage a different kind of form? I feel like for as much of the changes these like regional variants get, the middle stages should also evolve. You know, it would be really cool to see Dartrix, for example, get the leaning to basically the development of the Ronin hat, right? Like, what does that look for Dartrix? Social exhaustion is real. Absolutely, Destroyer. Did you get some sleep after stream? I did. Fortunately, I did, Tengu. But that after that, I was like, oh yeah, I really don't want to stream on the days that I record the collabs, you know? But you know, everything happens and works out. So totally forgot that next month is Mermay. Absolutely. Everyone's gonna be doing mermaids. You mean the May community prompt March was no, I mean March. I literally posted March today on the community page if you guys go. Tomorrow I'll post the April results. Today's the last day, so please submit them if you haven't already. And then I'll formally announce the May one on the 2nd. Ninja Star. I didn't want to make it a Ninja Star because it'd be you know, it's not super relevant to mermaids or sirens, you know? It would really help transition them. Yeah, I think it'd be really cute to be like, oh, there's a rowlet. It's like a little, you know, you picture that it's, you know, it's the rowlet. And therefore you're caught off guard when like that rowlet, maybe like, you know, the green shifting to a yellow, which is going to hit to the red, right? That transition would be so interesting. Now all of a sudden you get extra hype. You know, it's still hype to be like, wow, you know, Dartrix evolved into this completely different looking thing, but Pokemon's known for that transition and, you know, like what shifts that, you know? I like, you know, Rowlet doesn't have to be different. Same thing with like the spirit medium. I mean, I guess with ghosts, you know, you could just say they died, but that's lazy. If Polava had like these purple flames, you know, and maybe its personality is like shifted a little bit, you're like, whoa, what's this gonna be? Like all of a sudden that mystery really opens up, you know? Hello Wombat, welcome in. We stand self-care, absolutely. Which I haven't really done as much for myself. Like I've not been myself in the best kind of ways and the worst kind of ways. But yeah, I'm finding my space now, so. Is it a collab with Ron? Ding 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 ding. I think the month after May is gonna be June. Nothing special about June except brides do get married in June. We just did a love one in Valentine's, so maybe June will be more of an open prompt, meaning I'm open to hear suggestions. I still want us to have something to work towards as a group. It's a Japan thing, gotcha. May the 4th, so that could be a Star Wars theme, although it might be a little too limiting. I did see Jack's Mermayozoic. That's true. Mesozoic comes from the Mesozoic era. Hell yeah. But okay, here's Primarina. Let's keep going. Okay, we're gonna just keep twirling this hair. It's 411 now. It's almost like, you know, she has all these split ends, whereas like Primarina has like, you know, all this movement like waves. It's kind of pretty. It's beautiful. This like, it's kind of like the split ends, I think is like a really fun take, you know? And like I said, I'm going to have the pearls here. And I'm going to have her hair really flowing up in a way that's like careless, you know? Again, this Pokemon doesn't care about the appearance as much. You know? I'll focus on the shape a little more later. I like the plunging V quite a bit. I think it's like very sultry, right? In a way that where Primarina is like, you know, elegant, like soft girl, right? Like she's like glam, edgy kind of glam, right? I could even have it like, yeah, curled back like that a little bit. She is snatched, I will say. Part of me wants to give her a single pearl there. We won't do that. Can I do the come hither thing? I think I want her to have like extended digits in this version of this Pokemon. It'll be one more way to differentiate. If anything, you know what? Like, I can still have that split paw thing, but she has, like, digits. Because that is such a classic mermaid gesture, right? Like, come here, boys. Come here, sailors. And then they get murked. Yeah, I think it really looks cool. It's June community problem. Oh, Kaijun? Arthur, you're right. I would love to do like a regional variant of like Volcarona as Mothra. I didn't notice it until recently, but Primarina is a Selkie. Yeah, I would say so because Selkies would transform from seals into mermaids. So you kind of have both here, right? So classic kind of mermaid. Um, but stop flirting with your drawing. Never. Let's do this. Could like come to the back like that. Do you guys like the way this kind of back collar kind of goes back? And then let's do... I'm gonna have like just some tears and stuff in here in the final version. We're almost done, chat. Like I said, I know today's a little bit of a shorter stream, but you know, you guys can just jump right back into whatever else it is that you were doing or get started on your own mermaid prompts. Chat, if you are working on Mermay, what Pokemon are you going to use as inspiration? Like, I'm very excited to see. And again, while I'm allowing you guys to pretty much choose whichever Pokemon, I would obviously prefer you to choose one that like other people could see be a mermaid. Like, have them still fit in the world of the oceanic world, so to speak, right? Like, it doesn't have to be... You could take a fire type and make it water. You know? Like, it doesn't have to be a water type and then you convert it into a mermaid. You can, and in fact, I suggest it for anyone who, you know, doesn't want to, like, impose too much of a design challenge on them. And even then, I wouldn't, like, say you're taking the easy way out. Like, I think it makes sense to do that. You know? So let me know what Pokemon you're thinking. I can give suggestions. But otherwise, it should be a very fun one. Like, this is my first, you know, it'll be my first Mermay. And even then, I'm not, like, doing it the quote-unquote traditional way. So, usually with Mermaid, there are, like, all these prompts and stuff. Alright, let's... Nice! That looks pretty good. I think if anything, what I'm going to do now is... Why don't I just put in the colors that I have? And then we'll call it, because we've still got some time. We've got 12 minutes before we call it. Once again, chat, this is going to likely be, as much as I want it to be fairy, it'll probably be poison dark. And this is a Pokemon that has been affected by pollution. And therefore, now using its haunting song to punish those that come into its space and domain. And if you see why I'm coloring like this, it's because I see, like, the silhouette a little differently than how I lined it. So that's why it looks a little off like that. But you guys already know my coloring style. I'm going to merge the lines and the colors soon. And then I will more or less you know, Um, I'm going to kind of fine tune and whittle in my details. Okay, my music. The one design I have drawn is a kaiju. Nice. What'd you draw? I don't have too much time to say hi. I'm in a college class. No worries, Alex. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you're learning and doing well there. They won't transform seals into mermaids, just seals into women, pretty much. But they kind of combine both into their own kind of thing. That's why it's not necessarily a selkie, but like it's very clearly all there, right? He only had that dream really stretched out, taking an hour to draw an eye. Hell. One movie that Mr. Gaijin Guma mentioned when he analyzed Song of the Deep? Melodic is also good. Absolutely. Absolutely. Florges is actually or partially based on a mermaid. You know, I didn't know that, but like I absolutely see that. I can see that for sure. He's got some very early concepts for my VTuber. Okay. Art of Man indeed. I have 2 mermaid original fake mon I have planned. Turn your VTuber into a mermaid. I agree. But the tale of Primarina based on a mace. It's more supposed to be, Nick. It's supposed to be a sea mine. Because the idea is this Primarina is, you know, taking revenge on Pokemon and humans that have destroyed its home. You know, it's now adapted to live in these polluted waters, and a sea mine is a very dangerous thing to navigate. So it felt kind of fitting to, instead of, you know, basing it on a heart. Granted, I could have gone with like a broken heart motif, and maybe I will. Maybe that feels a little too clunky. Because I also didn't want to add those spikes there to the space underneath these frills, because it's like spiky on spiky, whereas this one is a juxtaposed soft with a spike. So I'm going to move those spikes down there. Or 22. Let's continue this. Tomorrow with Verg, I'm literally going to line every single Pokemon design that I have on all these kind of pages. I'm going to do the other page first. Like these guys I'll do in like a second batch probably. But I just really want to get all that going. Ooh, actually looking at it like this, I would need to probably, yeah, that seems right. She's got to have the red eyes, right? She's got, you know, it's still like this magenta pink red. It fits for the dark type. I think we also make, I'm wondering if I make, she's got like a soft pink. I wonder if I do red for the nose. You know, like they've got like these kind of clown tendencies as well, right? Poplio. They have like these clown collars and whatnot. So clowns are also considered very scary creatures, so there's that. No. I'm going to give, yeah, we're gonna make the hair purple. Ooh, that's nice. I do like that. We're going to... We'll take the purple and... It's giving me kind of Sailor Moon vibes, too. I'm gonna do maybe the details. Yeah, that's perfect. Gold as the accessory is obviously too gaudy. This is feeling very aquatic without like going so overboard. I think the eye mascara thingy, purple. And then pink, or excuse me, white. I'm gonna do blue into like, actually no, let's do, yeah. Ooh, I like this. And then we're going to do the pink spikes down here. Hopefully it reads like a sea mine. I'll look up sea mines. And either way, the dex entry would probably be like, you know, she's able to fire off the spikes. Or like when she thwacks you, you're hit for like, and they release like poison gas on detonation. You know, if I use words like that, it'll really invoke. And then we need to do... I think we used the same color as the skin for the pearls. Because I could make the pearls like a little bit more darker, like evil pearls, but like by having them recognizable as the original pearls, but they're now broken, it's like a nice like transition in the story, right? Like the once beautiful pearls that Primarina had here, they're like barely like floating, like they're not here to hold hold the hair like they used to. Like I said, I will come in and kind of merge, get all this detailing in. I wonder if it looks kind of weird when... Well, I guess that looks okay. You know what? I'll have the clam kind of like razor sharp. Maybe I'll do something like that. I'll add just these kind of like lines here. It'll add like a little bit more texture there. So you see how like my lines never truly indicate, like I'm gonna have to like really sit down and, you know, reconfigure parts of the design, you know? You know what? Actually, I kind of want to do Yeah, purple there feels right. Merged. I merged all the layers already. Let's flip. Looks pretty good, actually. You see, so then I'll like kind of come back in like this and just clean up, tighten up the lines and whatnot. So that's like a very ongoing process for me, the way I do my designs, you know? That's how I've always done it. Also, go see Sinners in theaters if you haven't already. It's great. I caught it yesterday, as I was saying in the stream earlier. Okay. Tapering the tail like that just looks better. Clears up more space for the other half of the sea mine tail ending. And yeah. I'll probably widen this out just a little bit. Yeah, and if anything, I can see myself taking like, you know, some green here and just kind of adding like this pearlescent kind of bit into the hair. I feel like it would just add a little bit of personality. You know, something like that really adds a lot to the hair, I think. But yeah, okay. Oh, there's been a lot of comments here. Don't think I'm gonna do it this year. Yeah, you don't have to do it. Nobody's forcing you. You know, for my prompt, you just choose one Pokemon and that's it. So that, you know, my Mermay is gonna be a little different from the regular Mermay. You do whatever is inspiring or fulfilling to you. You could even do, you know. Oh, no. Destroyer, Verg is not in the collab. I'm meeting up with Verg for lunch tomorrow. We're just hanging out. Verg is not in the collab. Or maybe I should make it interesting. Who knows who's in the collab? I do. Take care, Alex. Welcome back, Nui. I love how you actually gave Cinderace good arms. That was my main thing, Rykar. Good Mermay. Hello, Slow Lord. Welcome in, welcome in. To me, the most flawed aspect of its design are its arms. I don't love the arms. I get why they did it. He's a soccer player. Soccer players don't use their hands or their arms. And so if it's really, they're supposed to be underdeveloped due to the fact that its legs are its primary, you know, weapons, so to speak, right? Obviously not its quote unquote weapons, but what I mean is that ultimately it was intentionally designed. Doesn't mean it's good. I don't like the arms at all either. I was also going to check out this year's Kaiju name. It's not even out that. Yeah, one day at a time. No rushing things. Murder Clown. Has a terrace-based Pokemon been made for Pokemon X and Y? Not yet, but that is a possibility since, you know, France is the one that originated that mythos, right? My friend asked me this question. I haven't been able to get the question out of my head, so I'm asking all of you guys, is water wet? Yes, water is wet. Bonnie, you probably addressed this earlier, but why is there no face cam? Yes, I did actually. Thing is, I actually went completely bald. I buzzed down my hair to the skin. Not like a bald fade or like, like a buzz cut with like a one or a two. Like I went down to the skin. So I look like a goofus. And I also, yeah, shaved my beard, which I don't mind. I could wear a hat. But what I've been doing is I've been using argan oil on my head. So it's this oil that, I'm kind of like using to, not just regrow, but strengthen the hair and et cetera, et cetera. See, I just wanted to refresh, kind of like restart. Um, and so I don't want to wear a hat and the hat soaks in all the oil and stuff and this and that. Um, quarter wise, what does he look like? Similar to Mr. Fugu's assistant from Chatter. I've not seen the Gaslight District. I know my boy Stern. Um, I know my boy Stern did a Gaslight District set of Pokemon. So, let's oversee. She's got jam between her fingers. JK. Is anyone here besides? I'm not caught up on Digital Circus. Take care, Tengu. Let's see. French mythology, indeed. Glitchers coming out. Knights of Guinevere. Dark Isekai Party to Disney. I gotcha. Chat. Now that this Pocket Monster is near completion, I'm very excited to finish this up. I think this is one of my most successful regional variants because she she very clearly, has the Primarina visual elements while still being so uniquely her own. So I would consider this like a major success for me. If anything, I could even see myself adding, some like pearlescent kind of moments over here as well. I don't usually do these kind of like flourishes, but I think it's fitting. More recent animation, it just takes so much time, effort, energy. More effort and energy cost more money. Studios aren't willing to do that. The good news is a lot of studios, with the budget they have, they've been doing some incredible stuff with 3D. It's really a sight to see. Like Spider-Verse and everything is like a recent example. Just fixing the angle there. Of course, I think Bad Guys had some really great animation moments. Even like one of the newer Transylvania movies had like some really amazing squash and stretch and so many cool animation moments in it. So, as with anything, there's a lot of a learning curve, and you hit like a peak for a little bit, right? Like Pixar was always the industry darling because they would like come up with new technology to, get more and more fidelity or this or that or the other. And after a while, like that was okay, but like people weren't interested in the tech anymore. They wanted to make, the actual animation feel lively again. And a lot of people have issues with CGI and 3D for reasons that I don't agree with. I think they're pigeonholing the medium quite a bit, and it's just like a lot of nostalgia that's kind of like throwing them off a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, yeah, a lot of the old animation was incredible, and there's plenty of CGI films that are whack as hell. But there's always ways to elevate the medium, right? It's really up to the studios, and you know, if they had money and budget and this and that, like that's a different thing, you know. But they don't, so we can't ever blame the animators if it's like, oh, it looks so bad, it looks so this, it looks so that. Like, well, yeah, maybe blame the animators, but like, it's producers, you know, that like don't give the budget or anyway. I'm sorry, she's got to have those hips. So you guys see the vision, right? Little by little, she'll get closer to where she needs to be. I don't love this arm yet. Maybe it's got to be just a little longer. Or maybe... yeah, we'll figure it out. Hello, Becky. Welcome in. Lupin the Third Castle of Castigaroga is one of my favorite movies. I've never seen Lupin the Third. I want to see it so bad. There's so much personality in the character designs. Obviously in the animation. There's something really beautiful about the color palettes for those movies too. They just feel kind of vintage and lived in, you know? But let's see over here. Only thing I'd say that it needs something where the spikes of OG Primarina has. That's true. While I did move it to the end, and maybe, you know, next time you see the design, maybe it will be more of like the heart motif, and it's like a broken heart. As we can see, we have a heart here on Primarina's design. I could, in a perfect world, add spikes here. But again, it's kind of unnecessary considering this space is already very spiky, as it were. If anything, maybe I could add like, you know, red slits or something. You know, what could I put there? I don't think, or you know what? Maybe I just super simplify it and I add kind of like these just, yeah, some sort of like, maybe it's like these kind of webbing stuff. Oh, so I gotta undo that tail. There we go. Maybe it's like a side, let's see. Side fins, you know? And they're colored red, maybe? So it's not really doing a lot. Yeah, see, I don't think it's necessary. I do agree, like, there probably is something I could put there. But I'm not too bothered. This space is filled out pretty well. I'm going to flip it again. By cutting that a little bit, it adds a little bit more of that perspective that I'm trying to go for. Okay. This could even be a regional fake, like it poses a Primarina to lure trainers in, but then captures them. It could, but I think that might be doing a lot. I like 3D, but I miss 2D. I mean, yeah, I think that's fair to say, right? Like, you can miss something. The thing is, there are studios that have done the 2D, but then people don't watch it. You know? So we can't really even blame those studios. at the end of the day. Like, there are a few studios that like keep the tradition alive, but like you guys have to go to the theaters and watch it, and I know you guys do. But let's tell our friends and family, um, go and check it out. Go and support. I'm trying to find like some good motion in this ocean. Something like that looks pretty cool to me. You know? Why is it that animators and other artists started off doing kid family friendly content up to the point that now they age their content up a bit? Personally, I love when they do that. It depends on the context, of course. But the reason why, simply put, Danny, is they themselves have aged up as artists. And they can tell more meaningful or complex or darker stories now that they're in a different space. Being in a new, for example, Digimon, right? That was a series that kind of evolved with its audience. I actually recently talked about this. And while it's not like any more like that much more darker or this or that, it can touch up on new topics that will resonate with the audience that has grown up alongside it. Everything is cyclical in that sense. People watch the edgy stuff and they'll think it's really cool, right? Like, case in point, one of the most famous things of that is like Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Where you have Sonic as the main character, and then Shadow comes out. Everyone loves Shadow. And then, they gave him a gun and a motorcycle and this, and he was super edgy. Guess what? People loved it, even if it didn't feel right. But then after a while, they got it out of their system. And, lo and behold, it's, more wholesome again. But creators are people too. They have the right to explore what works for them. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, no matter who you're creating for, if you've got an audience, at the end of the day, the most important thing is to still make sure you're creating for yourself. Because if you're not loving it, what's the point? You could say money, this, that, the other, all are valid. But if you yourself are like checked out, whether or not that means burnout or just creatively bankrupt because you're not exploring like what's in your heart, then you're doing your audience a disservice. So, case in point, also like things with musicians, when people are like, oh, they've changed, they don't have the same sound. It's like, no, of course not. You're supposed to change. If you don't like it, then I don't ever want to say like suck it up. That's not true. Like, if you don't like it, then that's a very valid opinion. Maybe the band will be like, we tried it didn't work out, we're gonna try to go back to the old stuff. But part of the growth, right, as a creative, is exploring the unknown. Like, you've already tackled one aspect. Like, what happens if I go the other way? Might be cool, might be bad. You won't know till you actually try. Right? I like playing devil's advocate because I've been there, done that. So, okay, I really like this. Holy crap. Yeah, Conquer the Squirrel. Exactly. Start off kid friendly until they aged him up. And guess what? People loved him when they quote unquote aged him up. And even then, aged him up, it was more like edgy humor. So the thing is, the kids liked it because they were still kids and they were like watching something or playing something that they shouldn't be. And that kind of gave them even more room to enjoy him because they're like, oh, it's kind of almost taboo, right? To some degree. Comic about a history of animation with the intent of a kid. Oh, that's awesome, Wombat. Wiki Wombat, who definitely did not was the other way around. Okay, let's see. Honestly, start with Cagliostro. It's the most likable version of Lupin. I'm gonna put it on my list literally right now because I do have an ever-growing list of stuff to watch. The art style and animation is so lovely. Why does OG Primarina have the spikes there? I really don't know. I mean, part of me likes that it's this kind of juxtaposed, you know, really soft wave kind of skirt, and then these like more wicked spikes, but like they're a little out of nowhere, right? Because you've got some kind of spikes for the mascara or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you like eyebrows, and then you've got spikes, quote unquote spikes for the starfish, but everything else is very flowy. So it's a bit random. It does add a little bit to the silhouette there. So, but yeah, looks good. Sometimes I wanted to turn to Slice of Life. Yeah, Slice of Life is great. Kind of like where you had going with the waist spikes. It's a bit busy, but imagine the red spikes looking popping. Is this Primarina supposed to be vampire mermaid? No, it's a siren. Sirens, mermaids, interchangeable, but like a little more they're a little more devious, so to speak, like in the traditional media version, excuse me. They're like spiky teeth and like man-eaters, you know, whereas like mermaids are a little more like really, you know, girly kind of, you know, in the modern pop culture kind of format, you know. So it's sirens and mermaids. Favorite kind of stuff like Puss in Boots where kids can watch it, but it's not strictly for kids. Yeah, absolutely. Like you need to have a balance, right? Because studios know this, right? Studios are comprised of adults. They know that at the end of the day, the people who go to the movies, who are buying the tickets, are what? Adults. They're bringing their kids to the movies, so they have to sit there and enjoy it too, right? Obviously, there is children's content, right? But that could be straight to DVD, or in this case, like straight to streaming. That you're not quote unquote paying for in the same way as a movie ticket. It's got that premiere price, right? You go out for the experience. So you can, you know, make like purely children content where the parents can shut their brain off, let the kids watch while they're doing something. They don't have to watch the kids for a little bit. But if you're paying to go watch Puss in Boots, like you want it to, yeah, it's a children's movie, so to speak, but the paying customer, the parents, would have to be able to sit there and enjoy it for the 2 hours. Where? Obscure. I have not. Shark fin sticking out of the water. Yeah, that's kind of like the way I kind of had it, but I think my Mermaid Zotempo might have a similar thing to that. I think I'm done with that mermaid for now. I ended up streaming for like 2 hours, which is funny because yeah, I genuinely was trying to stream for like literally only an hour and a half. But I still have a couple of hours before I record with Ron and them today. And yes, just to fix up that confusion, I am not collabing with Verg tomorrow. It's more it's just a hangout. So Verg is not, or I mean maybe she could be in the video too. Yeah, Nintendo should be so protective. In fact, that's true for every property. Like there are, oh wow, this is the older one. I don't even know if I have the oh, this is the original mermaid. Let me see how I designed the, I'm not going to keep it on the screen for too long. There we go. Oh yeah, see, she did have like little kind of fin things on the side. I cannot wait to get back into Zotempo, my babies. This was the last thing I ever designed on stream, which was one of the legendaries. You guys cannot see the rest of the legendaries. Yeah, anytime you see crossovers, chat, every company becomes, as they should, hyper protective of the property, because that's their baby. They need to be depicted in the correct way, out of respect for the company lending you the IP, but also to make sure the consistency in the character performance or look, feel, throughout all media still resonates. Self-control? How do you mean, Rick? I was wondering when you're gonna show. Yeah, ideally it's going to be next week. Tomorrow is May. I was saying I want to start Zotempo with May, but I'm going to do Rex Commission. Ideally on Friday I line up my Chestnut, Delphox, and Greninja redesigns, because I can have that released for when Legend ZA comes out. Then I have to play Five Nights at Freddy's. I beat Five Nights at Freddy's, and then I have to then I can get into Zotempo. I might be doing another Pokemon design stream on maybe sometime next week, because I have a commission. It's not locked in, but it is going to be a 3-set design. And yeah, hopefully if this person gets back to me in time, we can lock that in for next week. Things like that, like commissions, I will sprinkle in between the Zotempo streams. Yeah, I'm very excited. What is a hangout of a non-recorded collab? So true, Rek. I was there for that. It's been so long. Hell yeah. Looks like you're almost done with the Zotempo deck. Sad face? No sad face. I'm very excited I'm almost done. I'm so excited. Can't wait. I gotta really do like a true kind of second pass. But kind of reminds me of Terrapagos. I don't really see it, to be honest. I guess maybe with the water dome being like a little crystally. I mean, maybe this guy you could kind of say, but even then it's kind of like a totem. I'll call them Zotems maybe. But yes, it is a legendary. Why the sad face all the time? But yeah, I don't want to show too much. Oh, look at this rock guy. Yo, I really cooked with these, bro. Yeah. Wait, this guy's crazy. Yo, I mean, I kind of cooked with these. Very. I don't want to like show too much. This is my personal favorite. Like, I'm gonna go out of my way to make him like so cool. Headsy and Legsy. Yeah, you remember that? Is the tail and it's made of water? Even Terrapagos' tail wasn't. Well, let me look up Terrapagos. Terrapagos' tail is. Oh, I see what you mean. The evolved form does look. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Pants. Yeah, we'll look at the pants real quick, and then we'll. It was so crazy, that era, that, you know. Man, I cannot wait. I seriously cannot wait to. I'm going to come up with a list of oh, interesting. Look at this guy. I will be doing these two guys on stream. Yeah, I see what you mean, Slow. I see what you mean. Pants tattoo, my god. And our girl Danny, even animated pants. These guys are pretty iconic to me. Um, like, I gotta say, I'm very proud of myself for this set of designs. Like, I really, for the longest time, welcome back, Zach. I was talking about monsters and I want to do this and I want to do that. I gotta put on my teeth and brush my pants. Goulash. It was something like that, right? Although I don't think I wanted that name because I think goulash as the food, right, is like, I think either Mediterranean or Turkish, and it is very like Indian inspired. It's like a booth, like a in specific, like this kind of spirit that eats like garbage. So I want to like mostly Indian name. Although of course there's a good variation of ultras represented here. That was very important, with the major lean being Indian. You can see a lot of my previous like Pokemon redesigns, and even some of my Fakemon got redesigned to fit in this space. For example, my Goldengo dragon was kind of brought back to be this guy. I had a, yeah, there it goes, the Deoxys that I made. I brought that back into this kind of design. Oh, hungry, yeah, hungry as hell, yeah. I like the tree. Me too, love the tree. Imagine Pokemon Company decided to make mushroom based cow called Mushroom. I mean, why not? Mushrooms have these spots. You can have the black spots on the white, kind of like a cow. Pretty great. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna close the stream here. Again, I genuinely didn't mean to go into 2 hours. I swear, I was like, well, I'm just gonna line this Primarina and then like I'll be done in an hour. You know? That clearly wasn't the case. Alright, so as I said earlier, chat, make a vision board, make a mood board. You know what? As Professor Bohdi, I'm assigning this as homework. Make sure you do one. Post it on the Discord when you're done with it. Put stuff in there that you want for your life. We're not going to be existing anymore. We're going to be living. We're going to be thriving. So here's mine for anyone who needs any kind of inspiration. But look inwards, right? Find what inspires you and put it in. I know it's a bit random, but yeah, this is what we'll end on. So everyone, I've been Professor Bohdi. I so want to put the camera on. Oh my god, hold on. I don't want you guys to see me. Oh, look. Yo, look, see? What did I say? I completely, like, I literally have peach fuzz. Okay, I told you. I went all the way down. Because I dug too deep near the end of when I evened out my hair, because I was just trying to get it down to a 4. But it's okay. Hair grows back. I've been Professor Bohdi, aka Mr. Bonny John. You guys have been wonderful as we wrap up on the 2-hour mark. I hope you enjoy the Primarina that we designed today for the May prompt, which is MERMAY. Feel free to start designing yours. I'm going to put the prompt up tomorrow in the chat. I better. Someone remind me if I don't. I'm going to try and stream tomorrow as well. I'll be hanging out with Berg, as I said, which will be cool and exciting. Post May prompt. So, yeah. Have a wonderful night.